Hello everybody and welcome back to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 15, Week 5. Last round, the Riki Blinders sent Tidehunter mid, and it was all downhill from there. Let's see if they learned from that mistake this time. With me today is Yule, who is one of the main lead developers on League of Legends, and he even has a scepter named after them. How's it going, Yule?
5 seconds
Eh.
remaining.
How's it going, Yule?
Dire team ban.
It's going terribly.
It could be worse. First
Radiant
phase
team
ban
ban.
LC is really interesting to me. I don't know what the strat is on that. Gonna get countered with a Razor ban. You think the Riki Blinders are even gonna really try much this game? I mean, this is
10 seconds
this
remaining.
turned from a one stand-in scenario to a two stand-in scenario.
5
They
seconds
still have
remaining.
zero mid players unless you want to count the 0.02% efficiency that PVC Pipe has playing mid. Like, this is the most scuffed imaginable version of this team. Well, I guess they have one mid player who is probably not going to be doing it this game. I like how the Sandganger's flag is just the letter
Dire
S.
team ban.
I'm sure it's supposed to be FG, you just can't see it. And I'm still not exactly sure what this is. I believe it's Nobels, because they're Nobel Prize winners, I guess.
Radiant
Guess
team
so.
pick.
Well, last time they banned the tree, this time they banned the Rubik. I guess they're going to be doing the tree themselves, or they're going to be letting the Sandgangers have it, which is an almost irresponsibly bad idea, to be frank. I would just
10
pick it here.
seconds
No good
remaining.
reason not to.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
There we go.
Yep. The Tree Man Protector.
Does make me wonder. It is going to be fun after next week. Week 7 in the bracket, we're going to be in a new
5
patch.
seconds
So
remaining.
I wonder how it's going to shake up these Tree and Lena and Riki first metas we've been seeing. Who's opening the floor for the Riki here? I don't know if they take the Riki, but it's an option.
Dire team pick.
Gonna take the Undying.
Ten seconds remaining.
Can't believe they didn't have a ban last game because they ran out of reserve time. I guess
5
that's what
seconds
they're
remaining.
aiming to do again here.
Why not?
It's an odd time to have to stop and think, I gotta say. Usually if you're second pick, you probably know your first combo. But not today.
Radiant team pick.
Gonna bring out the Hoodwink again. Same exact support line as last time. I guess this is the B team when they can't get their main heroes.
Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Gotta bring in the Broodmother.
That's. I would say that's a Mad Broodmother, but it's not a Mad Broodmother.
Yeah, it's not even on the same team as Matt. That's a Dusty Broodmother.
It's on the other team.
Gonna ban out the Tusk again. You must have been reading their papers. This is the only series where there's not going to be at least one Tusk gang for Sandgangers. Sandgangers say we hate the troll. Riki Blinders say, okay, yeah, but we hate the PL.
Radiant team ban.
I am the Juggernaut. I will not be in this game.
I don't know why they're banning Juggernaut. It's a terrible hero right now. So people say. Still win games on. It's just not a good hero.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I guess the main reason is because they can't really use it. You don't want to be jogging a bird. That's a bad place to be.
I mean, I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's good by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think it's terrible. Just spin. Brood presses her E and goes on top of you. Just click the spin button and run away.
That's true. The problem is that's your only real option in dealing with her. It's like,
Humbug. That's what the Undying's for. It's to give
yeah,
you
there you go.
space.
Dire team ban.
That's why you pick
Noted.
Undying. Honestly, Broodmother can't run away from an Omni Slash.
Dire
No
Yeah,
matter
but
how
she can.
fast she is.
She can just make her spiders eat it and force them to go somewhere else.
That's what Battle Fury is for.
Nobody buys Battle Fury on Jug. Oh my god.
You'd be surprised. I had a
Radiant
Jug in
team
one of my games recently. Go Maelstrom, Diffusal, and Battle Fury.
I thought you only played League because you're Yule.
That's true.
I gotta question the Pudge and the Brood a little bit.
I don't.
Well, it's gonna be really hard to
10
get any hooks,
seconds
and you're
remaining.
probably gonna get silenced a lot.
Blink is for.
5 seconds
Oh,
remaining.
there you go.
What do you mean silenced into Brood?
Well, Brood is, believe it or not, a hero that very frequently buys this item called Orchid.
No, it isn't. Not any time recently. On Brood, you build auras and you play around your spiderlings because it has this funky new ability called Silken Boa that makes all units that attack it deal like 6 magic damage per hit, which is obscene.
That's true.
And
Here's the thing, though. You can still buy the Orchid on the Brood Mother, and if you're going against a lineup like this, where you have 3 guys who cast and only
10
cast,
seconds
you probably
remaining.
should.
get a Hex. It's much better than Orchid.
5 seconds
Lasts
remaining.
less time, costs more, but it prevents them from doing anything rather than just casting spells.
Well, I mean, already if these guys can't cast, they can't do anything.
I mean, Pudge doesn't care if he's silenced if he's got his rot going.
Well, you're, like, not going to care about that as Brood. You got auras for that as well. You know, it's not a choice in the matter, you see here.
Radiant
You are not locked into one or the other. Got Sniper coming out here. Something
I
Drow
think
Rangers
Pudge is
find a little annoying.
good into Broodmother. Your spiderlings all just die to Pudge rot, and then you can get dismembered after a blink or some shit like that. I don't think Brood's good into Pudge. It's a good counter pick.
10 seconds remaining.
Sniper is good into Drow as well, so that's a
5
thing.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, this is one of the very rare bad matchups for Drow.
Well, it's just because current meta is all about range, and Sniper's got like 250 range on a Drow, which is a lot actually when you think about it. So Sniper can just plink away at Drow's HP bar before Drow can even touch the Sniper.
10 seconds remaining.
And you got a
Drow gets
lot
on
of
top of the Sniper as on top of a Sniper Drow gets, but yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, like, to tear through everything they got and actually get to them. It's basically like your hope is you've got Broodmother in a relatively close spot, and you've got a hook shot to just
10
hook into the
seconds
mix.
remaining.
I
Other-
mean, if Hookshot catches Sniper should die every
5
time.
seconds.
Especially
Ideally.
in the late game.
I mean, you do have a Pudge that actually complicates that factor. It's like you hook shot Sniper, and then he just gets hooked somewhere else, and now what?
Yeah.
It's very awkward.
Just tank the hook. Just get phase boots
There
on
you go.
Clockwork and tank the hook.
Simple as.
And then just keep the Sniper in cogs, and then Drow kills the Sniper. It's that simple. Easy. Easy game.
10 seconds remaining.
Interesting to see Riki
5
Blinders banning
seconds
out the Ember
remaining.
Spirit here. I feel like it's not the worst hero in the world for them to go. It's definitely time to bring out one of the funny spirits, like, for sure. You definitely want somebody
do.
who's going to be able to reach out and stop a dismember. You want somebody who's going to be able to reach out and talk to Sniper man to man.
I think it's just that Ember popped off last game, and they don't want to fucking deal with it again.
Yeah. Well, there's a very easy way to not deal with it again. Right up next, actually.
Abandoned. That's what they did.
Yeah, there you go. But what I'm saying is they didn't need to do that. They could have just picked it and probably been okay.
Radiant team pick.
I think it's good for the other team and the other team.
Probably the worst spirit you can pick in this situation, in fairness, is Riki Blinders, but there's an option if they want to do that. They definitely, like,
I think
if we're
the
running
worst,
Tidehunter...
Seconds remaining.
I think the worst spirit they could pick right now is Earth Spirit. And
I think
honestly,
Earth-
Vengeful Spirit's not looking too good either. Just saying.
I don't know, I think the Earth Spirit might do a little better than the Ember Spirit would this game, legitimately.
No, because here's the thing: Pudge is going to be standing in front of the sniper most fights, right?
Dire
Ember
team
Spirit's
pick.
remnants go through people. If you roll as an Earth Spirit, you're going to hit
No.
the first here that you collide with.
Let me stop you there. Viper ain't it.
It's not Viper, that's for sure.
Viper ain't it.
I mean, it's really annoying for them to kill the Viper, honestly, at this point, without the sniper. So Viper should have a pretty okay game, and it's very simple hero to play. Like, you can't fuck up Viper.
Well, you certainly can fuck up Viper if you've got another bad core for Viper to play into, which they have a very easy opportunity to get here. You also have the Hoodwink. You also have the Hoodwink blank or break, which is annoying for him to deal with.
Well, Sniper's not that bad. I mean, it's not good. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I've played Viper into Sniper and it feels really rough. I've played Viper into Pudge and it's really hard for him to kill you unless you get broken by the Hoodwink, which is really easy when you're dismembered, and then you suddenly start taking 9,000 rot damage.
Well,
Then it hoits.
Viper with maxed out corrosive skin gets like 51% magic resistance.
Not if he gets broken.
I'm fucking aware.
And
also,
Night Stalker
they're giving
is
the Pudge to Manoy and taking Night Stalker.
Yep.
For man's dead, which
It's interesting.
is a good way to. It's a really good way to get on top of a Drow Ranger without being stopped by Clockwork Cogs.
We gonna do Rada mid this game? Can't wait.
On Viper, again,
Yeah,
you
baby.
can't fuck up Viper.
Well, I can tell you one thing, having played this matchup myself, Viper Sniper, it sucks ass to lane that for Viper. You just can't do anything. It's like his ability to clear waves and push towers is better than you, and if you try to fight him, he just kills you. It's kind of a, you just vomit on waves, get what you can get, and go somewhere else ASAP type situation, which ain't great as a mid Viper. I do wonder if the Treant Protector could potentially have some influence in changing that, but out of the box, yeah, that's rough for Viper. Viper versus Sniper in the lane kind of sucks to be Viper, especially because it's like a lose-lose. It's like if he goes all in on Shrapnel, you can't close with him and actually do anything, and your W is worse on waves. If he goes all in on E and W, then he can kill you, you can't kill him. So something bad is going to happen no matter how Rady chooses to play this game, basically.
Just what I need.
Prepare for battle.
So this is a very scuffed matchup. I can already tell you one thing for absolute certain. This team is going to have some really nasty sniper problems. I don't think anything so far is going to be able to stop them outside of you just get the clockwork cook on him. And in fairness, Copeless is a very good clockwork. You get the clockwork cook on him, and you just somehow drop a train on Sniper's head in that time and don't have the enemy team intervene in any way. That's like the only way you kill Sniper, and that's 1 out of the 5 guys. The Night Stalker can be pretty tough for these guys to deal with. None of these guys like being silenced, and not really any of them like being at close range either, outside of Broodmother, who he's not going to be like running into very often. Hypothetically, Clockwork likes being close to most guys, but not
30
that one.
seconds to battle.
Not really that one. Well, if it's at daytime and you're, like, out of position, then he loves being next to you, but that's the only case. And then you've got the Tombstone to deal with, and you kind of, like, almost counterpicked yourself with the Clockwork here, Nothing sucks more than your team being blocked by gears while tombstone zombies are eating you. You still got the Hoodwink, who still has annoying tricks up her sleeve. You still got the Pudge, who's a big fat dude. Throws hooks like at this Viper, who is like definitely dead.
First blood.
Luckily, at least Undying accidentally got the kill there. Over a little butchery. And if you didn't notice, in the lead up to the game, yes, we have lost the Mighty Midget between Game 1 and Game 2, and PVC Pipe has come in to replace. Which is very awkward. This team has a hard enough time with one stand-in. With two, I really just don't imagine things being nice for them. There is one good thing, at least it's gonna suck laning the Night Stalker against the Drow. Yule, did you fall asleep or what? Well, let's just pretend he's still here, and pretend that the game didn't just lag when I tag back in. Oh my god. Yo! He ain't waking up. Alright. Well, this is gonna be a fun solo cast. Lanes are definitely, I think, are gonna be favoring Riki Blinders a little bit here. Gonna suck a little bit for Pudge to deal with this lineup in the early levels. It's gonna suck. It's Undying to deal with this lineup at all, ever. Drow and Treant is a lane that I don't know if anybody in LD2L can beat. Like, on anybody. Like, if PVC Pipe ran this lane, he's gonna, like, win the lane. Like, no offense to PVC Pipe, but you know what I'm getting at here. It is really hard to beat this one. Unless Tomato claps his hands in applause for you and you get annihilated, but you know. Ooh, Matt just barely living there, is walking away from that with 30 HP, though. So is the Drow Ranger, so... It's gonna be definitely a little awkward until Treant gets that living armor at what I hope is level 3. Now we're playing with power. This is gonna hoit. Manoy just lost most of his HP bar. Tombstone comes up, just gets eaten immediately. Oh, that's a good blind hook, though. Goodbye, Clockwork. Bit of a hack job, that. This guy really... Yo! Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Oh, I almost committed a bad caster move right there. Jackie Chan is dead. And so is my mystery caster. Wow! He really fell asleep! Man, caught some Z's. Well, something interesting has to happen in all of our co-caster games this week. Manoy's interesting thing is that he's going to go to take a dirt nap. He's going to be snoring too. And as predicted, it sucks to be Viper, but at least he's going to get the post-mortem kill here. That wasn't even his level 6. Right? I would say it's very interesting to see that Viper is not even thinking about getting a point in Nether Toxin at this point, but given that he's 10 last hits down from Sniper, who's actually not going Shrapnel either, it's mutually assured destruction here, I guess. You know, so he's very hungry for those kills, which, I don't know, I think it's the right move. Like, it's only going to get worse for Viper the longer this goes on as well. Like, it starts bad, gets worse. Like, look at that. You know, it's kind of easy to not think about this, but, like, Viper, most of Viper's tankiness is right here. He's got magic resistance. He's got that attack speed slow, right? But the attack slow, it isn't much. Certainly not for sniper. And he got like no armor. Manoy is just gonna die again up here. Okay. I mean, like I said, it's just gonna be kind of a rough lane for Pudge.
Not what you expected?
Still can't believe these haters are gonna hate. Still a pretty good game for an Orchid on the Brood as well. There's one guy who doesn't need skills to do something, like, to operate at all on this team. Silence Night Stalker, he's a melee creep. Silence Undying, he's a melee creep. Hoodwink gets to be a ranged creep, that's the good news, and Pudge is a big fat melee creep. As long as he got the aura for his rot. If you try to do just rot alone, you're going to be cheeseburger. So Viper is missing. That's a lie. He's right there. Though with less last hits than the Hoodwink at this point, it is a little hard to see why you might think, or it isn't hard to see why you might think that. Last hit so far, dramatically favoring White Joel Birch, dramatically favoring Dusty, but nothing else really is on this lineup. The Viper is just getting completely hammered, unfortunately for them.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Not that I feel like this lineup is taking it this seriously anyway. Not that I feel like probably... Like, Manoy's not playing Pudge because he thinks it's the best hero in his repertoire, right? Manoy's playing Pudge because he wants to play... Because there's two stand-ins, this game doesn't mean anything, he wants to play Pudge. Is why he's picking that. It's not going well so far, though. He got that cool kill, but since then he's mostly been dying.
Radiant structures are fortified.
All the pain that he's able to inflict so far has been pretty much on clockwork. Down dramatically for denies, down pretty bad for last hits. And the ratio is no better versus his lane opponent or his contemporary Paz 1.
And it's off.
Blackadder just getting completely annihilated back here. At least a good TP from the Pudge is going to kill this safe lane. That could definitely be a way to help turn him back around here. Night Stalker's got less net worth than Clockwork. That's about how well this offlane went.
Invisibility. Incoming.
I'll get over it.
That was a bit unfortunate. It's going to get a lot more unfortunate. Here's how you do something his mid in this matchup. It's not mid Viper in this matchup. You have Clockwork come and just kill the guy for you. It's probably the biggest advantage that this team gets from having Copeless there. Unfortunately, a big disadvantage that they get is Manoy is just going to stay in this bot lane and just keep killing Joel over and over. Which isn't going to be good.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Joel started out this game in a really great spot, but just taking 2 consecutive deaths to Pudge has completely turned around both of their games. Now, Drow is the one that had a monstrously bad early game, and Pudge is doing A-OK. At the very least, you're going to lose top T2 for this, potentially.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
With flair.
This top T2 is already almost dead. by the time Radiant finishes, or not Radiant, by the time Dire finishes Radiant spot T1, Radiant's almost done with Dire's top T2 here at 10 minutes.
Dire's top tower is under
Interesting to
attack.
see how careful Dusty is being for the most part with this push.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
But it is going to work out. And T2 is dead
Dire's
at 10
top
minutes.
tower has fallen.
And Tree has been caught.
Is under attack.
And just dies in seconds. Found Matt here at mid. They do have the hook shot on clock to play with. Unfortunately, this is like the worst place imaginable for this creep wave to be. Matt just was perfectly obscured there by that catapult. Clockwork getting pung a lot here. And missing the hook. Copeless is washed, confirmed.
Under attack.
Good news is they're just going to kill this tower now. Bad news is Rada is so far behind it is difficult to imagine him taking even a modest part in this game.
Dire's middle
But
tower
then so
is
is
under
Matt, which is a little unexpected. I mean, he was facing Drow. It's a tough lane, but I don't think it would be quite this tough for him. We're not going to let Dusty get away with it this time. Down he goes.
has been killed. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Joel running around in the jungle in the dark. Tries to TP out, does not get anywhere. Doesn't have a level of gust either. It's just not the popular thing to level in this game.
Dire's top
And
tower
she's
is
dead.
under attack.
Listen for the wings of the night.
Well, that's horrible to have happen to this lineup.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Feels like this is like Bizarro World. All Drow can do in this game is just die over and over. Lane went so well for Y. Joel Birch, and now he's 0-3. Is he even still that competitive last hits anymore? At least he's still third place on that. Only one Dire hero is above him, but Dusty will not be fast today. What's with Jackie Chen and denying haste runes? Seems to be associated with him a little bit.
Prize is this?
Tree Protector, wondering what sort of prize this is. You have the tree ult to play with at this point. Haven't seen it in use yet. Rada has a funny green knife at this point, so he's got that going for him at least. Unfortunately, he's been caught, but they don't want to go in on that with living armor. They do want to go in on Sniper with the clockwork hook shot, though. And Pudge actually missed the hook, so Reedy's dead! Great work from Clockwork on this. He's certainly not going to walk away from it, but it's very difficult to see the reality in which that's not worth it. Especially since he just died with split kill, just to make it a little worse for the enemy team.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Pace slows down a little bit here. Everyone gets to work hitting things. Predominantly creeps. Hopefully not real life people. Rada is about to die. The second he shows on this wave,
Dire are scanning.
Your tree has
he's gone. Night Stalker is going to SVSV his way out of a tricky scenario there in Kind, so they're not going to get the revenge kill on the other guy who's this kind of job in this game. He's coming out very soon for Dusty.
Radiant's bottom tower is
It's
under
going to make
attack.
him pretty obnoxious to deal with
Dire's middle tower
for that
is
enemy
under
team,
attack.
especially on the part of Sniper, who would rather you didn't be armored.
Nice.
can't believe he fell asleep. That's Yule, too. Once in a lifetime you get Yule on a cast, and he falls asleep on me. Good hook on the clockwork, but I don't know if it's exactly what you wanted.
Dire's top tower is
Swing and a
under
miss on the
attack.
hoodwink ult.
You have a mother's gratitude.
Only just now, I believe. The courier gets caught on Broodmother. Wonder if that's going to actually affect this fight at all. Well, White Joel Birch is just going to have a bad day here. Tries to start a big go in this fight, immediately has to back because of the Night Stalker. Very awkward scenario here, as neither side really wants to commit any further to this. Greaves has arrived.
I'll take that.
This is awkward for Dusty. And the Viper goes down too. That is now passed up the Viper, which is good. Looking for a BKB next, which is going to be a little obnoxious for the enemy team to do anything about. Well, the Night Stalker laned, unfortunately, very poorly here. It's difficult to see him doing badly in the rest of this game, perhaps. It's definitely a good pick here. Copeless is going to commit Livent, as the kids say. Pudge very close to his Zags, just a few chunks of change away.
Is under attack.
Catapult hitting T3 top at 15 minutes. Joel has managed to sneak his way back up the net worth charts, which is definitely good for this lineup. After a very rough start to this mid-game, he has actually re-established dominance here, as they say.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Good ult from PVC Pipe is going to stop anything from happening, courtesy of this lineup. Maybe? Okay, we just took Sniper again. This time he's going to get out basically immediately, though. Tree's gonna die, but Manoy's also gonna eat it, but Dusty's also gonna eat it. An unfortunate game where I don't know how effective the Greaves are gonna be in the long run. Like, Rada, please, my man. Sniper's still actually gonna die for that, which is probably fine for Rada. Joel dying for this was not good for the team, though. Even if they got the two biggest threats on the Dire, losing literally everybody and everything for that was, to say the least, not worth it, especially when Pudge is going to get, I believe, at least one fat stack off of that as well. Very, very unfortunate go there. Broodmother getting very close to Hood. Pipe on the way, relatively soon. It's a bit unfortunate this game. Something is going to say is, I don't know how useful the actual Greaves, the panic option of the Greaves, which is really the strongest thing about it, is the panic version of the aura. I don't know how strong it's going to be, because it feels like so far in these fights what's happening is people are going from like 50% of their health bar to just dead instantly in like the matter of seconds. You're never staying in that Greaves panic for very long. Which is a bit unfortunate. Not exactly what I expected to happen either with the Greaves this game, but it's really just not seeming like it's doing that much work for them so far. Could change, could change. But if it isn't doing any work so far and then it changes later, then the issue is getting them first, I think. At least in this specific game. That Acorn is not very effective into clouds of spiders, I must say. You know, that's a sentence that only makes sense in terms of Dota. If you say, I shot an acorn into a cloud of spiders and nothing happened, people are going to think you're nuts in any other case. Hood is up on the Broom Mother, which is good. Going to give her a little bit more ability to survive some of this nasty magic damage that's been a pretty big problem for her here so far.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Illusion.
Brigand's Blade coming out for Dire, which has one guy who can use it. Maybe he does. Maybe he chooses not to. Hook comes out for Clockwork. Gonna take Undying out here in pretty short order, but at the cost of his own life.
You've seen your last sunrise.
Everybody on the lineup just
Radiant's middle tower is
getting
under
out
attack.
the hell out of here. This is not what a winning strategy against this lineup tends to look like. Rada is gonna eat it again. It's gonna, at least, okay, maybe not. Maybe Rada just standing up for himself here. It's gonna work out a little bit, but unfortunately Matt makes it to a creep and therefore lives.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Goodbye,
attack.
Rada.
Night comes for you.
If only they had the Spirit Vessel there. Unfortunately, Clock had died already. Trout falling down the net worth charts a little bit here. It's a bit unfortunate.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Gonna get just randomly hooked here by Pudge? No, he's just gonna show himself on the creep wave. And then get the...
Is
Ooh!
under attack.
Never mind. Great use of the Hurricane Pike there as Pudge careens into first place on the net worth charts. No hood on the Pudge, even though Pudge has got one on his model. Maybe Manoy thinks that's enough. Dusty is taking a quick trip to the Nether Realm. They're gonna catch Sniper on the back of this fight. And as sort of predicted, the Pudge getting involved in the Clockwork cogs really isn't good for them. And Sniper just lived in the worst case scenario, which is making it look really bad for this team. If Sniper reaches the #1 on this net worth charts ever, and he like stays there for more than 10 seconds, this game is
Radiant's
over and done with, I think. It's going to be so hard for them to do anything about that. Ring of Aquila for the Drought Ranger here. Just she isn't actually going to take it. She's got that Grove bow. But hey, Viper can use that. I don't know if he's going to. He is! Truly great. Joel has gotten his shard now. He's going to make him a bit deadlier when looking at fights. Also has his multi-shot cooldown trait. Undying has now finished the Greaves. MMR is overrated. And Jackie Chin's gonna just go down there in mere moments. It's gonna be hard to be the Dire supports this game, that much is absolutely certain. It's just I don't know how hard it's gonna be to be anybody else at this juncture. Pipe of Insight. Roche is just gonna get hammered here. Just realized, no shard on the Viper! Rada, no! No, Rada, you want me to flame you. Drought Ranger is actually tearing things up in this fight, even though Matt's right on top of her. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter because the rest of her core lineup is just made of cottage cheese, it feels like. Ooh, that's a great shot on the hoodwink. Doesn't seem to matter much. Okay, it's gonna matter. She's at least gonna get the kill on Matt before she goes down, which is totally not worth it at this point. Yikes. They just had the Aegis and they still lost the fight by orders. It feels like these two other guys, even though Dusty is the top of the net worth charts for his team, it just doesn't feel like he doesn't feel like he is. It feels like it's Drow Ranger and friends. And that's just the long and short of it. The Viper in particular feels like he doesn't exist. So if I could give you a recommendation, if you're in a position like this as Viper, you get this poison attack, you know, that's a bunch of magic reduction, that's a load of armor break, and you know, there's a hero on your team who would really like it if you broke the enemy team's magic resistance and armor. You know. So well, actually, I better check that. Oh no, it's all physical. Never mind. Well, she'd still love it if you broke the enemy team's armor. Even on the weird shard frost arrows thing. I guess I gotta assume it's still physical on the Ag shard. So it would surely say otherwise. But either way. Somebody wants you to break their armor, Rada. Got an item that lets you do that, Rada. There you go, that's today's song. Walking to Matt off the smoke. They're not gonna go after him. They want the Fat Man. Unfortunately, the Fat Man wants them just as much. Undying going to go down in frames. That's a pretty good tree ult here. Matt in a very awkward position. Is gonna eat this creep though. They're really struggling to actually keep vision on, and keep damage on Matt in these fights. It's like he's just so consistently able to just get away and eat a creep anyway and just be back in on it. Riki solos the T2 bot and continues pushing while everybody on the Radiant is in the dire jungle. As that Brigand's blade.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
D3 items starting to drop here for both teams. Manoy does not like that fact and wishes to put it into it. He's gonna walk into the Treon here, which is actually like the worst place he can be. Gets silenced very quickly and just die in frames. They don't even get the tree for it in response. Very unfortunate there for the Dire. Coppolas is just gonna randomly die here as well. But you remember that thing I said earlier about how Sniper gets to the top of the net worth chart and just stays there? This is probably just kind of done as a game. Let's see that in action, shall we? It's gonna get even worse when he actually has the data list when he goes on the Broodmother here. Hanging out the this random ward down here. They'll never know we're coming. Sniper just found a mind breaker. You know, Cade, never mind.
Invisibility.
Jackie Chin says hello to White Joel Birch. Joel Birch pretends that he's not home. You're doing a little quieting of magic here, but not quite as much as the Treon's trying to make this fight a lot quieter for Dusty. Ooh, Matt! Oh, Matt now knows what it feels like to be everybody else on his team. And now he's in an awkward spot here for sure. Never mind. Cancel that. Uncancel that awkwardness. It got awkward again. Cancel that awkwardness. It's not awkward anymore. Uncancel that awkwardness. It got awkward again. This is quite a fight, but he wins the 1v1 with the Drow Ranger. As everybody on the Radiant goes down without taking one guy for themselves. Sniper was not even in this fight. This game is over.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
At least they have this snazzy, tiny statue with no inscription for some reason. Look, we'll watch the destruction of this T3 from Tiny's perspective. See, you can see him back there, you see?
Go that way.
Sniper looks a lot less garden gnomey from this kind of view, doesn't he? He looks, he's still a little squat fella, but you know, he looks like he's like, I don't know, 4 feet tall maybe?
Tower is under
He's like the size of a kid, not the size of a garden gnome. And here he is about to get an assassinate. That's an assassinate perspective you're rarely going to see on a cast.
Radiant's middle tower is
He
under
might have just assassinated a hoodwink. No, he didn't. That's on his team, but you know. Broodmother trying to slow the bleeding here.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
This is exactly what sniper problems look like in a game. Like, they can't really feasibly get on top of him. They really just can't do anything except just avoid fighting when he's around. And if you do that, then he just gets to eat all your objectives. Ugh. Unintentional dodge there. I believe this is our BKB reveal on Sniper. I believe that's our 9. Yep. Still going to get hit by the Viper roll, but that doesn't matter at all. Hurricane Pike makes Dusty half the hero that he wishes he was. And once again, 5-for-0 trade. White Birch gets stepped.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Stun now, says Dusty.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. You'll have to do better than that. Radiant's middle tower has
I
fallen.
don't know, I think if they do about that well, it's gonna be fine.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
For,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
so we've got a Dusty statue, we've got a Rada statue, and we've got a Copeless statue. How come White Birch doesn't have a statue, huh? Is he, an iconoclast or something? What's going on here?
Radiant's bottom
Rada
barracks are under
just completely eating it there. Just disappeared from the game.
has fallen.
I like this smoke inside the enemy base just because I haven't. I want to hit the button.
Radiant's bottom barracks
Immediately gets broken. 2 sets of racks are now down for Riki Blinders. Manoy is loving it. He's gonna go for an E-Blade here, just specifically to troll poor Rady. Matt has a halberd again. Oh, Broodmother is missing. Gonna be a little annoying to deal with in this game.
Radiant are scanning.
Somehow he just knew. That wasn't very nice. Somehow he just knew I would be watching him in that moment. Undying, queuing up a Wraith Pact. Well, that's unfortunate. If only Dra had the Invis-Reveals trade. Not like it matters, she would still be dead. Okay, great hook shot, maybe not. Great pudges here, maybe not. Yeah, just still gonna die in seconds. Rada has shown up to offer his protest towards these actions. It will not matter. Copless calls the G's. We're going home. Well, I mean, on one hand, this is a pretty good performance for Carp. On one hand, this is a pretty good performance for the Sandgangers. I do think if this was a bracket game, like, if we were looking at 5, this does definitely look like a match they credibly win, potentially. But I do think a lot of the downside of this match had to do with the fact that they had a non-mid player playing a mid-hero. He doesn't play much. I can tell he doesn't play it much because he doesn't have the shard. Not over here. Well, that was maybe the most awkward cast I've ever been a part of. At least when London fell asleep. I don't think London actually fell asleep in the Season 12 finals, but... Hoi! Yeah, I feel like it would almost be, wrong to analyze this game much. In fact, my analysis is... Don't look at this as an accurate depiction of what would happen between Sandgangers and Riki Blinders in a real series. They have 2 stand-ins. They have Rada mid playing Viper, not buying Shard. It would not go like this in any credible universe. So, either way, with that all being said, I do think you did definitely see some good play by the supports on Sandgangers. This is going to be their Achilles heel. No offense to you two guys, but you guys aren't support players. This is going to be a bit their Achilles heel, and I think this game Black Otter Jackie Chan definitely looked good out there. So there is that. It's a problem that's going to be less the case the longer the season goes, just because it's like, Jackie Chin's doing this here. He's doing it, I think, in a couple of leagues. Black Otter's at least doing this here. Getting some more experience is always going to help. I don't think you guys are probably not going to be award winners by the end of the season, but scenarios like this are definitely going to be good. Saw some good Hoodwink Gold, saw some good Tombstones and all that. Well, if you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg to sign up today. It's not too late to be a stand-in, it's not too late to join in-houses, and it's certainly not too late to just randomly queue. And it is too late to record, I guess, because Who? I'm sorry, I mean Yule fell asleep in the middle of the recording, so we'll see you next time.